Okay, the lack of return on investment is enough to make anybody not want to participate in this. Um, and then because of social media, people can see more of what's going on. And then also in real everyday life, you see folks who have less education than you making more money than you. You see folks who have no experience or little work experience making more money than you. I'm just going to be real. So, how do you think that's going to make people feel when they went to college or they went and put 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 plus years of work experience, and yet they're making less than somebody who didn't do any of that work and don't have any of that education? So you can also get why people are upset and frustrated. Not to mention, after you've realized that you've been in pretty much a dead-end job, and you're basically stuck in entry-level work, you get to a point where you realize, oh, you're going to have to pivot into a different career field, which is easier said than done. Not to mention, people are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and being told that they need to start over. And that is not easy to do. And in my opinion, it's happening too often. Because like a lot of us are now realizing, hey, we should have went to trade school 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Now we're trying to do trade school. The problem with that for a lot of people is you already have student loan debt. So you're not really trying to take out more debt to pay for trade school. You already have debt that you can barely afford to pay, which most of us can't. I mean, they're bringing back student loan payments. And this time, for a lot of folks, there is no income-driven repayment plan option for you. So for me, without the income-driven repayment plan, that's $503 a month that I have to pay. Where am I going to get an extra $503 from a month? I have a car that I have to pay for. And then, of course, we're always being blamed. So, like, people will, well, you shouldn't have bought a car. Then how am I supposed to get to and from work? How am I supposed to get my mom to her doctor appointments? Her labs? Again, a lot of these employers literally require you to have reliable transportation, even though they don't pay you enough to have reliable transportation. And even remote jobs. Like, that's the other thing. Oh, you guys are remote, but then there are various times throughout the year where you are required to come to the main office. The main office can be anywhere from 10 minutes away to an hour or more away. Hour or longer away from you. So exactly how are you supposed to get there if you don't have reliable transportation, even though you're remote? So again, a lot of people picked up additional debt because they either had an income-driven repayment plan or they were on the COVID-19 forbearance and didn't have to make monthly payments anymore. So all of a sudden, they had extra cash that could go towards picking up a car. Some people purchased brand new cars or used vehicles. I have a used 2020. Some people became homeowners. And now a lot of folks will be foreclosing and pretty much having to give up their cars, voluntarily repossession, because we don't make enough money to pay for non-income driven student loan payments on top of car payments, mortgage payments, car insurance, homeowners insurance, mortgage insurance, shit, you name it, utilities, groceries. rent, etc. I mean, just my car payment and my student loans is essentially $1,000. I mean, and then if we add the car insurance, it is like $1,200. We haven't even talked about electricity, gas, water, gas for the car, gas for heating the home, groceries, cell phone bill, internet bill. We haven't even talked about those additional costs. And off rip, I have to give up $1,200 a month between non-income driven repayment plans for student loans, car payment, car insurance. Those are just 3 bills. And that's $1,200. I'm getting $1,653 every 2 weeks, bi-monthly. So off rip, out of that $1,653 for the first pay period, I'm only gonna have $453 left, and I'm supposed to make that stretch for 2 weeks, and I still have other bills and responsibilities? Then you wonder why people are looking at these jobs like they are dead end. This is what we're talking about. The fact that after almost 11 years of direct work experience, I'm only being paid $24.16 an hour with a master's degree and countless certifications that are required for me to maintain my license and my job. But then you wonder why people don't feel motivated to work and don't really see the point of having a job at this point. Like, we don't have any money left over for anything outside of bills the vast majority of the time if we're only working one job. Which is why I have a part-time job, contractual work, side hustles, business ventures, investments. You're on a smooth, easygoing week between my full-time job, part-time job, contractual work. And we're just talking about 3. We're not talking about the side hustles. We're not talking about the business ventures. We're not talking about the investments. We're not talking about the emotional care work that a lot of us are putting in as caregivers, caretakers, and parents. That is additional labor and work that oftentimes you're not being paid for. But just based off of my full-time job, my part-time job, and my contractual work, I'm already working 60 to 70 hours a week on a smooth week. On a hectic week, it is easily 80 plus hours a week. So that's why I'm like, you would think if somebody's working that much, we would be rolling in the dough. But we're not, because jobs purposely underpay us. Based off of my years of experience in my education and the type of work that I'm doing, I should be making 6 figures by now. Point blank, period. Most of us arguably should be making closer to 6 figures, or over 6 figures by now. In fact, I was supposed to be making $50,000 10 years ago. I graduated with my bachelor's in 2014. That's when I was supposed to be getting $50K. I should have been at the 60, 65K route 8 years ago when I came out with my master's. So that's why here I am, damn near 11 years of direct work experience, 11 years since I had my bachelor's, 8 years since I've had my master's. I should be at 6 figures by now. And that's what I'm talking about when they sit up and they wonder why everyone's burnt out. Because we're purposely being overworked. We're purposely being undervalued. We're purposely being underpaid. Also, why are we paying what used to be considered rent to drive used vehicles? That's the out cold part. I'm not driving a 2025, a 2026. I'm not driving a Mercedes Benz. I'm not driving a GMC, one of them big GMC Sierras, none of that. I'm driving a 2020 Buick Encore GX, half a decade old. And if we're really going to be honest, a lot of your 2020 models were built and designed in 2019. So really, your car is 6 years old. If you have a 2020, if you have a 2021, it's actually 5 years old. Okay, because typically they've already built the model and then they release it the year before and say it's the 2020. So that's why I'm like, why am I paying $441.29 to drive a car that's 6 years old that I bought used? Why are we paying more or the same rate for a used car than a new car? Why? And this is exactly why people are tired, people are burnt out, people are frustrated, because it's just a never-ending debt story. Like, you don't pay us enough to pay for things in cash. So we're always forced to be on some type of monthly payment plan or needing to get financing approved in order to purchase something that 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, you would have been able to pay with cash. Okay, back in the day, for example, 10, 15, 20 years ago, definitely 15, 20 years ago, $5,000 cash would have been enough to get a quality used car. That same quality used car today is going to run you at least $20,000 to $30,000. Make it make sense. And I'm saying quality used car, aka low mileage, not a lot of wear and tear, maybe 1 or 2 owners at most, no car accidents. And when I say low mileage, I'm talking about under 30,000 miles. No more than 50,000 miles. You're going to be paying at least, depending on the car, the year, the make, anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 for a used vehicle. Make it make sense. And I know folks are like, but you can get them cheaper than that. Yes, you can. And you're also going to be the one driving a 100,000 plus mile vehicle with a lot of wear and tear that's going to break down, and you're going to be back to point A. So it doesn't really help you anymore, right? Like, in fact, $5,000 in today's time is considered a down payment on a used or new car. That's how ridiculous things have gotten. Used to be a time you saved $1,000 as a down payment, and that was going to put you in a good standing. Now you are putting $5,000 and $10,000 down because the damn car is literally. You have cars that cost more than people's mortgages. You have cars that are worth more than people's houses. So you know what I'm saying? Like when I've seen, what was that Telluride? That damn thing can be anywhere from $80,000 to $100,000. There are homes in my hometown that are $50,000 and $60,000. So think about it. And just to think, why are you paying more than you make for a car? You have people who don't even make $100,000 a year, but yet they're paying $1,000 plus a month to drive a $90,000 vehicle. Now, one thing I will say